Hello everyone, what's up? This is Chris again, just another quick update. This is the end of the Philippines trip. When I last left you, we were in El Nido. It was kind of weird though, because I recorded the video in El Nido, like right the day before we left El Nido, but I couldn't upload it until like a couple days ago because the internet there was terrible, and the internet even here is kind of slow, but it's much better. So it seems like I'm making two videos back to back, but it's really not. Anyway, how is everyone? We're here in Cebu now. We went from El Nido to Cebu, and Cebu's pretty awesome. We stayed at a pretty sweet resort. We're still in it. Today we're leaving. Today's our last day, so we have a big international trip ahead of us. So coming home finally. But we stayed like 3 days in El Nido, and 3 days in Cebu, and it was pretty cool. When we left El Nido, we had to do that terrible 6 hour bus ride. When we came up, we were in a van, but we found a big charter bus that does them as well. So we took that because it says they have free Wi-Fi and stuff on board. Of course, the Wi-Fi did not work because not as advertised. That's the theme of this trip, not as advertised. But at least they had air conditioning, and it was pretty. I mean, we had a little bit more room than the van, so it took a little longer because we stopped more. So, but it was okay, or it was better compared to the van. So we drove back down to Puerto Princesa. Then we had to stay a night in Puerto Princesa, and we went to this place called the Uno Hotel, and it looked like it was gonna be pretty good. Like we walked in, it's very clean, it's very nice. It looked very kind of not super rich or whatever, but upscale, good. It looked good, so we were excited. So we got in and we gave them our information, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have that." Like we showed them Tom showed them the receipt or the confirmation email, and they're looking, and then finally they're like, "Oh, well, we're overbooked, so we don't have any rooms right now." So I was like, okay. So they're like, well, we'll call around and we're gonna buy you. We'll get you another room and we'll pay for it. Yada yada yada. So they ended up getting a hotel like literally like two buildings down from there, called the Jillian. And it was so we went there. He set it all up, and we got into our room, and it was absolute crap. It was shit. It was the worst. The room was super small with just one king size bed, but that's pretty much it. The bed took up everything else. The water was terrible. The water pressure did not work. The water just dribbled out of the shower head. So you couldn't take a shower, so you had to take a bath. And then, of course, the internet didn't work. Only worked in the lobby, and even then, it didn't work because the infrastructure here for internet is just pretty non-existent in most of the places, it seems. And then there was a lizard crawled out from under the bed up the wall. So we had a lizard in our room, and the water didn't work. It was terrible. Worst hotel. And I wanted Tom to get the receipt to see how much it was, because he's like, I'm gonna talk to. He booked everything through Agoda. He's like, I'm gonna try and talk to Agoda and get a refund or something, because the Uno Hotel we spent like $100 or whatever, and there's no way that Jillian Hotel was $100. It was crap. So that was a little disheartening. So anyway, we had dinner and just kind of walked around Puerto Princesa. Is just walking through the neighborhood, and it's just a lot of people trying to make it by. It's like a lot of poor, a lot of poverty, a lot of people selling anything they can. But anyway, so we had to get up early the next morning, make it to the airport, and then we flew to Manila, back to Manila, and then flew to Manila, and then to Cebu. So that was pretty uneventful. Went to Manila, then we came here. Sat next to some nuns on the flight, and that was pretty. Yeah, the one nun was really friendly. We talked a little bit. She's like, "Oh yeah, go here, here, here." I was like, "Okay, cool." So anyway, we get into Cebu, and then we get a taxi to our place, and it's like we're driving along, and it's called Costa Bella. We finally get there, and at first it's kind of bad because it's like really away from the city. Like you have to go through all these like roads, and it's like you can't, like if you wanted to go walk around the town or whatever, it would take forever. So you'd have to you'd have to spend money and buy a taxi. So that kind of sucked. We were kind of discouraged at that because it was like really far away from the city. But then we got out, and the place is beautiful. It's like really upscale, beautiful hotel, pretty cheap. I think Tom said it was like 100, maybe $10 a night. Which, I mean, I guess it's not that cheap, but it's cheaper than some other places I've been. But where they get you though is like the food is really expensive. They have a restaurant, like they have a pool, they have a restaurant. There's like a band that plays in the restaurant, singing, and they have a stand-up bass and conga drums and stuff. They have a beach, like a little private beach. They have this big like sandy area with like these big bungalow things where you sit down. Really cool, really pretty. I was really pleased with the room's awesome. The beds are big, comfortable. Internet does work pretty well actually. It's a little flaky, but it's the best internet I've had in the Philippines so far. So that's we got there, and it sucked because I got food poisoning. That, like, I guess from whatever I ate in Puerto Princesa, like gave me food poisoning because the whole flights, like during the whole the two flights, I felt like shit, and I was like, oh, I thought it was maybe diarrhea or something, and but then I started getting that nauseous feeling. I was like, I think I have to throw up, but I kept pushing it back, trying to hold it back. And then we made it to here, and it was like, oh, well, whatever. Like, I just got to throw up. So I went and threw up. Like, after we got our room, threw up, tried to have lunch, a little lunch, threw that up a couple hours later. I was laying in bed. I was sweaty and just achy everywhere. And I was like, God damn it, I got food poisoning. I hope this is just, 24-hour thing. And it was, luckily, because luckily I didn't really miss anything because we got in at like 2 or whatever, and by the time we got checked in and all that, it was like 3, so there wasn't much, and like I said, the town was far, so we didn't really have a chance to do anything. So I just spent that day just sick. Ugh. But luckily, the next morning, I woke up, I felt great. So we went out to do some tours. We went out to the side of the private beach. There's all these dudes standing around. They're like, hey, friend, come here. And like, we do this, this, and this. It's like they're not a part of the official tour, the hotel tours, but they do it cheaper. They're like local guys. So, we're like, all right, we're going to do it with these guys because we can give them some money because they need money. So, yeah, let's go with them. So we went out with this guy called Noy. His name was Noy. He had, he's really friendly, really talkative. He took us out on his boat, swimming, snorkeling. We did a little fishing, like just not with poles, but just like a spool of fishing line, and basically just a spool of fishing line. And you hand throw it, and you catch these little fish. I couldn't catch anything. They kept taking my bait, but the Filipinos were catching them. They caught like 3 fish. They cooked them up. We ate them. Noy dove down into the water, into the sea, and got urchins for us, sea urchins. So he brought them back up, cleaned them out, gave us the meat, fresh sea urchin. That was pretty tasty. The snorkeling was pretty cool. Saw some seahorses, big sea urchins. It wasn't as colorful. There wasn't as much coral as in El Nido, but it was still pretty cool. We were right near the edge too, so like I would get close to the edge, and then it would just go like straight down and look really dark and deep. I was like, oh, I can't do that. That's scary. And the current got really strong. It was like pushing me towards the edge, so I had to swim out of there. But that was cool. So we did that the first day. The second day we did whale sharks because there's an area on the other side of the island you can swim with whale sharks. So Noy's like, yeah, he offered to do it, or he offered to take us down there for cheaper than the hotel one. So we got up at 5 a.m. He got a car, like he got his friend or rented a car or something. We got in a car, we drove. It was really far away. We drove like 2.5, 3 hours out there. We got out there like 8:39. There was already a bunch of people out there, but it wasn't too bad. So, because as we were leaving, there was a ton of people. But anyway, we got out to the sanctuary, and it's an official thing. It's they got all these, they got all these stands set up, and the rules, you can't touch them, blah blah blah. But anyway, so we get in, just Tom and I in this boat, these 2 Filipino guys, this small boat, and it's actually not that far out from the shore. It's like, I don't know, like 100 feet out from the shore, and the water is only like, I think he said it was 6 meters deep, 6 or 7 meters deep, so not very deep. but they feed them. They throw food in that area, and it makes them come up. And then there was probably like 50 people doing it. So so yeah, we didn't know what to expect, and so we get in, and then like, or no, we're sitting there, and like we're waiting for the guys to tell us to get in, and then one comes up like near the surface, and you see him, the whale shark, and it's like this big blackish gray blob. But then you get in under, like we have snorkeling gear. You get in, and you see him. He's like right there, he's like 6 feet from you, and it's so crazy. Like this huge fucking fish, and I don't know. And there was like, I think they said there were 7 of them, but I think we only saw like the same 3. They kept swimming by, and it was amazing. It was pretty cool. It was pretty scary because the wind, like the wind was really picking up, and the sea was choppy. Like I really want to go back and do it when the sea's a little calmer, because like the waves were getting pretty big, and it was so choppy, and the current was like pushing us in different directions, so it was hard to move. Because I also had a life vest on, so I couldn't like go deep down. It was still pretty cool though. I mean, it was pretty freaky. Like they don't, because there's no sound right underwater. Not really, and like you can't hear them coming up on you. So like you're sitting in the water, like, and you're watching one, and it like swims away or whatever, and then like you turn around and there's one like right behind you, and you're like, oh fuck. Like that happened to me, and one that like came at me. It was swimming at me, and I was trying, because they say keep a distance, keep like 4 meter distance from the whale sharks. But if you can't get out of the way, just like kind of curl up into a ball. Don't touch them. Let them swim by you. So I was trying, like the one was coming at me, and the current was pushing me towards him, because I was trying to like swim away, and I couldn't really. So I was like freaking out, and then Tom like grabbed me and pulled me out of the way. So I kind of wish I had just sat there and let the guy like swim by me, because that would have been cool. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. I want to go. I want to do it. Like I said, I want to do it again when the sea is a lot calmer. So that was pretty amazing. And then after that, we went to this waterfall, Tumalog Waterfalls, and it has a really cool shape. Like you have to see the pictures that I post, because it's just like these. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like just one big waterfall. It's like many little waterfalls, and the shape of the rocks. It's just really cool. It was a cool place, and that was pretty much the last thing we did. After that, we had another 3-hour ride back. Oh no, sorry, we had a 3-hour ride back. And then when we got back, we did do one more thing, because the guy's like, you want to see chicken fighting? I was like, okay, sure. So he took us into this little village, like this really poor like little village area, like, and we were walking through it. We meet up with Noi, because he didn't go for the whale sharks, because he was doing other stuff. But we meet up with Noi. We go to this. They're having this big kind of party, like fiesta thing, like food and people selling stuff, and we watched a couple cockfighting matches. And that was interesting. It was really interesting. Like, they had the pit there, and they had the roosters, and they attached these big ass blades to the rooster's feet. So like when they claw at the other rooster, like the blade cuts them up. And it was really weird. Like they let us so there's like a cage. There's like the arena, and then there's like a cage around the arena, so that you can stand in between the two cages. And they let us, because we're the only foreigners there. And like we knew Noi, and Noi, I guess Noi is popular, or everybody knows Noi. But they let us stand in between the two cages, so we had like front row seats for these chicken fights. And it was pretty interesting. Like the first one I saw, like I don't know, like it was weird. Like because I didn't like it. It was because the chickens or the roosters would fight, but then like if they would get tired or whatever, they didn't want to fight anymore. Because usually like once one animal is dominant over the other, right? They like the loser just kind of like, okay, you win, I'm going off. So they didn't want to fight anymore, and they kept picking them up and making them fight each other, basically until they die. I mean, it's okay. I guess it's good because they eat the chick, which we were asking. Like they eat the roosters afterward. So like you just bet on the roosters, you win or you lose, and then they kill both of them and they eat them afterwards. So it's not like, it's kind of better than dog fighting because nobody eats the dogs afterwards. But it's still, it was really, I don't know, it's kind of sad because they kept picking them up. Like they didn't want to fight, and they kept making them fight. And it was really, I don't know, I didn't like that. So, but we watched a couple of those. Tom and I bet on some, and we lost. We didn't bet a lot, just a very small amount of pesos. But we lost. but yeah, we watched like 3 of those, and then we left because we're like, okay, this is like, I don't want to watch this anymore. So we went back to the hotel, and then we just chilled, had dinner. They have, like I said, they have a nice restaurant here. Read some book, got in the pool a little bit, and that was it. Now today is our last day. We have our flight. We fly out of Cebu to Manila at 9 p.m. Then we have to fly to Manila. Then at like 10 p.m. we have to fly from Manila to Incheon. We get there like midnight. Then we have to wait till 5 a.m. fly from Incheon to Chicago. Then we have to wait in Chicago for 6 hours. Then we have to fly from Chicago to Kansas City, and then we're going to meet up with Tom's parents because his grandpa's coming in to Kansas City. So we're all going to meet in Kansas City. They're going to go, and then we're going to go to the casino. And we're going to try and go to the casino here actually. Like once we're finished here, there's a casino right by the Cebu airport. So we might try and go there too. So hopefully we win and make enough money to have the Philippines trip be free. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Swam with whale sharks. That was amazing. Saw cockfighting. That was really weird. And just did a lot more snorkeling and talked to some of the locals. So it was pretty cool. All in all, the Philippines trip was really great. Glad I got to go. I just wish I had brought more money. I wish I didn't get screwed over so bad by my phone costing so much when I left Korea. Ugh, to cancel that. So, but anyway, yeah, I would definitely come back. It's a big country. Like living in Korea so long makes you realize how big like other countries really are, because Korea is so small. But yeah, so I'll wrap it up because it's going long here. But I'll see you guys soon. Sorry about the quality. I have to be on my laptop. I don't have my webcam. But hopefully this will be uploaded in a couple days. And for the people that are in Manhattan, hopefully I will see you in a couple days. So like Mandy, Nathan, all you guys, I could probably see you in the next 3 or 4 days. We'll be there. I think, like I said, we're getting in Kansas City. So we'll be in Kansas City for the weekend, for like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we should be back in Manhattan by Sunday night, Monday. So, all right. Then I'll probably make another video about being back in America a few days after that. So I'll probably see you guys in like a week. But yeah, bye everyone in Korea. This is like for the last time. You'll see.